so let's check this out. Yeah, so Sweet Baby Client admits the game failed so hard that it ended the franchise. Oh, sorry, yeah. Mm, Thank you, Leo. Thank you. Oh, okay. Good night, Ben. Have a good night. All right, so let's take a look. And of course, well, it's being done by John F. Trent. I'm not a big fan of John F. Trent, but okay, let's check it out.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at yet another potential lesson for the gaming industry that will likely fall on deaf ears. Now, we've all heard of the phrase, the sweet baby kiss of death, where basically any
That's it.
game that works with Sweet Baby Inc. ends up failing. But today we're looking at
Yes.
something that goes beyond just killing a game. It appears that a partnership with Sweet Baby has not only killed a game, but an entire franchise and possibly a studio to go with it. So here's the
Hey,
headline from
fuck.
Fandom Pulse. Sweet Baby Inc. infected Reflector Entertainment admits Unknown 9 Awakening was a failure. Now, this is actually pretty surprising. It's rare to see
Hey.
a studio just straight up say their game was a failure. I mean, we see Firewalk Studios all the way to the end patting
Hey.
themselves on the back for Concord despite being one of the biggest failures in gaming history. But Reflector Entertainment has come out and just straight up said, yeah, our game failed. And really, there's no way else to describe it. Unknown 9 Awakening was a failure for many different reasons. It came out with the typical DEI chin, the crimson chinned female model as the protagonist, and
Uh, I re- I remember when we saw something about this a while back, where we said, okay, the in-game model looks like dog shit, but the art, the art looked good, but the actual in-game models look like dog shit. Like this is the in-game model, which Rev is probably gonna show. Okay, I'm vaguely remembering this.
also, this game was very poorly marketed. A lot of people didn't even know this game existed until it was
Yeah.
already live and ready for purchase, and the numbers really reflect that. This is absolutely
Oh
terrible.
fuck.
10 in game players right now, and this game has only been out for a few months, and you can see the review rating of 35%. People genuinely hated this game. Not many
Fucking
people gave it a
hell.
chance, but when they did, the ones who played it actually hated it too. And the numbers are just horrible.
Oh
Right now, like
my
I said, 10.
god. That's a fucking cliff. It literally peaked day one with 285 players and literally went off a cliff. From day one. Wow. That's fucking bad. Been out for 3 months and it's dead.
10 players right now. The 24-hour peak is
Eighth grade.
18 players, and the all-time peak, which was right on release, was at 285. And a lot of those people out of that
Really?
285 were just checking this game out of morbid curiosity because they got the game for free. I believe it came with a PC
What?
part bundle, and a lot of people discovered the day after release that,
Oh,
oh, I had this as a part of the bundle. I'm gonna
wait. They gave this away with PC Pop? Chat, how many of you remember when fucking Black Myth Wukong was being given away if you bought like a GPU? Black Myth Wukong was a big selling point for buying like an Nvidia card back when it came out. And now we're reduced to Unknown 9 as a bundle offering for buying a PC parts? I'm kind of curious what PC part this thing got paired up with. I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that they pair this with any like high-end GPUs. I refuse to believe it. And people probably got the part and were probably like blinking in surprise, going, wait a minute, I'm getting a game with this? Oh, okay. Cool. I guess I'll give it a try. Well, no, it wasn't a thumb drive, Kevin. It would have been like a Steam code. They would have gotten a Steam code to get it for free. Because that's what happened with me when I tried to upgrade my old computer to a better GPU. When I bought the GPU, I got a code for Black Myth Wukong. when I purchased the GPU. Of course, that GPU didn't work and I had to return it, so I didn't get to use the code. But that's how they got the game. Is they basically got emailed a code saying, "Here's your code for your free game." They probably like, "What the fuck is this? I wasn't even wanting this." And so they figured, well, I got the code. I just fucking well.
I'm gonna check this game out. And it was just really morbid curiosity. And a lot of these people played the game for 2 seconds and said, yep, that's enough. So numbers like this are abysmal for any game. But for a game that clearly had a high budget and was working with Bandai Namco, this is just inexcusable and something that is
They work with
really, really
Bandai.
bad. A
Oh,
reflection on the modern audience and what happens when you appeal to that sort of a group. Now, there's something very interesting about Reflector Entertainment, the studio that developed this game. They were acquired by Bandai Namco a few years ago, and the goal...
Okay, chat. Is anyone seeing a common factor here with the latest crop of DEI games that are absolutely getting destroyed? Anybody seeing a common factor that I'm seeing right now? Anyone at all? Because I'm seeing something that's become a very common factor. No, that's not what I was referencing, Atanashi. And no, I wasn't talking about the girl in the picture. Talking about this. Anyone notice that a lot of this DEI bullshit that is tanking like fucking crazy, rightly so, I will mind you, is all seem to be coming out of fucking Montreal? Montreal is putting out a lot of this DEI garbage right now. Ubisoft, Reflector Entertainment, just to name two of them, there's more than a few that the developers are based out of Montreal. No, okay, Core, I will tell you, the rest of Canada does not hold any... The rest of Canada is saying, Montreal, you're on your own. And yeah, and Jack, you are correct. SBI is also located there. So it's like a lot of this shit is coming out of Montreal. Coincidence? I think not. Don't blame Canada as... Chat, if South Park was right, that means you guys think I'm bad too. You guys don't think I'm bad, do you? I'm not bad, am I? You don't think I'm like these guys, do you? Eh? Well, different kind of bad, Atanashi. Different kind of bad. The bad that we like.
goal was to basically make an entire franchise out of Unknown 9 Awakening. And that has a very shocking parallel to what Sony did when they acquired Firewalk Studios a few years ago with the intention of making Concord a transcendent piece of media that...
Okay, chat, quick. Where was Concord where did Concord, Firewalk Studios, where did they originate? Where were they based?
Ember, you don't have the flappy head and the strange sense of humor. Well, not Canadian strange anyway. Cheer 100.
I should have that done my model. No, I'm kidding, I'm not going to. Oh, look, Potato, where in Canada? Where in Canada was Firewalk Studios? Were they in Montreal? They were in Washington. Okay. They were in Washington. Never mind. Theory, slight detour. But my theory still works because a lot of these developers are coming out of Montreal.
That was not only going to produce games, it was also going to produce shows and movies and novels and what have you. It's supposed to be an entire franchise. And we're seeing basically the same thing happen here with Reflector Entertainment, and it's backfired absolutely horribly. And if you look at their website, they still have this on here. This is the entire story world, or the intended story world of Unknown 9. You can see they had a video game that they already released, but they're also going to make a comic book and a scripted podcast and a novel trilogy and a web series. Like, it's absolutely insane. They had such ambitious goals for Unknown 9.
And I'm pretty sure when we saw the video about them doing the shit, I'm thinking I probably said at the time, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it's, you don't craft a franchise.
Cheer 100. It was bundled with MSI X870, X870E motherboards.
Oh, okay. Odd choice to bundle it. Ah, it's an odd bundling choice, but okay. Yeah, when we first heard about this, I'm pretty sure I said that the stupidity was they were launching the franchise before they launched the game. And that's not how this shit works. You get a successful game, and then you spin off that success into a franchise. They basically took the cart and put it before the horse, and the horse died. Essentially.
And it crashed and failed on its first step. It's amazing that Bandai Namco thought purchasing Reflector was going to be a good investment on their behalf. And if you look at Reflector Entertainment, it's not too surprising that they are big on DEI. So you can see this right here. They have a diversity and inclusion committee. This is posted right on their website. It says this: this employee-run committee's mission is to raise awareness and accountability about issues related to diversity and inclusion. Its goal is to promote dialogue and action to ensure diversity remains a priority and asset across all of our company's endeavors, which now is going to be how to handle layoffs because of how badly Unknown 9 Awakening failed. But you can see here that they are a member of the Canadian Center for Diversity and Inclusion. And they are also based...
Never heard about. I've never heard of the Canadian Center for Diversity and Inclusion. I'm actually curious now. What is this? Weaving intersectionality and belonging into DEIA? Oh, it's a charity organization. Oh, God. No current campaigns. They only have past campaigns. Oh, God. Yeah, it's a charity. And they've got some big names in their founding partners that are probably just tax write-offs. Oh, boy. Yeah, webinar. Oh, God.
Cheer 100. Well, I just walked into a nightmare. Hey, Ember and Sea Hat.
Hi, Dragon. Yes, welcome to the nightmare. Okay. And apparently they're a member of this. So they basically bought in. Interesting. I don't see them. Oh, that's founding partners. Yeah. So they're a part of this. They're all in on that.
Based out of Montreal. Now, anytime you hear a company really based in Canada, but especially in Montreal, you almost have to assume they are partnered with Sweet Baby, and that's exactly what happened with Unknown 9 Awakening. They posted this as an entry for the Shorty Awards, and you can see in the entry credits, ding, 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 David Bedard and Kim Belair, the co-founders of Sweet Baby. That is prominently displayed right here for everyone to see at the beginning of the entry credits. It is a very, very weird thing to see these companies continuing to work with Sweet Baby. Now, when Sweet Baby got involved with this project, it might have been years ago, but still, the fact that anyone would proudly display that they partnered with this woke consulting firm shows they have no pulse on what gamers actually think and actually want. And as you can see here, Sweet Baby continues to fail upwards. There is a rumor out there that as a result of everything that happened in 2024, all of the disastrous PR for Sweet Baby, it cost them no contracts. They have lost 0 contracts as a result of all of this failure they've been connected to. In fact, it is rumored that they're working on about 30 games. And honestly, I've heard from other sources that the total number of games they're working on could be as high as 70 or 80. It's
the Brutus is going to have his work cut out for him with his SBI detector. As to how, I think I may have an answer. I think I may have an answer of they have not lost contracts because, again, they have contracts. Don't forget, video games, generally speaking, take years to complete. Don't forget that. A video game takes numerous years to work through. Typically about 3, although with some of them, they can go even longer. And so they may have established these contracts with these gaming developers prior to the shitstorm. And these devs may not be able to break the contract with Sweet Baby without taking a serious financial hit or legal repercussions. Now, again, this is rumor that they're working on about 30 games or even as high as 80 that Rev was saying. That is rumor. If they forestall the game, Gore, it costs them money. So that's just one thing to think about, is they may not have lost contracts because, again, key word there is contract. But it doesn't say anything about gaining
Lead
that.
you to the dark side, D.E. I will.
I will. So keep that in mind, that number one, this is a rumor. That it is a contract, which means they've already been into it, and the devs probably can't break that contract without serious repercussions. And there's nothing saying that they have gained new ones. Because games, again, take a long time to develop.
absolutely mind-blowing how much they continue to fail upwards. They basically destroy every single game they're a part of. Every single game that has their name attached to it fails. They've had studios that shut down after collaborating with Sweet Baby. It's an absolute disaster, and Reflector Entertainment is just another example of that. And yet, the industry continues to award them, and it's absolutely mind-boggling that this still...
No, Tanashi, I'm gonna, I was about to say something there. Yes, they were involved with Veilguard. I don't feel this is failing upwards. I think what Sweet Baby Inc. is doing is Sweet Baby Inc., without knowing it, is weeding out the game development studios and companies that are too fucking weak and don't care about making a good game for people to enjoy. That's kind of how I'm looking at it at this point. So it's not failing upwards. They are essentially functioning like a canary in the coal mine for us, the gaming community, to know what game to avoid and to take down the game development studios that are so weak and so filled with DEI bullshit as is. Cause let's be honest here. DEI is a symptom. Sweet Baby Inc. is a symptom of the problem. It alone cannot take down
Cheer
a full
100
company.
Santa Monica. Don't you dare ruin God of War.
Dragon, that was going to be the point I was going to make. Sweet Baby Inc. was involved with God of War Ragnarok. And this is the point I was going to make. Sweet Baby Inc. was involved with Ragnarok there. But Ragnarok is, by and large, considered a good game. It's got some elements in it that people didn't like, but by and large, people really liked God of War Ragnarok. So, Sweet Baby Inc. itself is not it is not the overarching thing that's taking them down. They are a part of it, yes, they are a part of it. And so what it's a good indicator of is game development studios and game companies that are too weak and fold so easily to the DEI mind virus and go all in on this. And basically, it is essentially a game version of Darwinism at this point. Well, that's my point, JTech. If the devs and the companies are too weak to stand up for themselves against a pissant little company like SBI, because let's be honest, all of the SBI's threats are meaningless. They tried that with the devs from Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong devs looked at Sweet Baby Inc. and said, Meta, kindly go and fuck yourself. And what happened? DEI tried to smear them. Black Myth Wukong said, yeah, okay, whatever, screaming child, go away now. And look how successful Black Myth Wukong was. So if a gaming company or a development studio folds because of the Sweet Baby Inc. intervention or integration into it, if they're so weak that Sweet Baby Inc. is able to tank the company, it's just it just shows that they don't that the company should go anyway. They don't have the fortitude, the inner fortitude to make a game people want.
My personal experience has been that contracts for consultants, which is what Sweet Baby claims to be, usually have a clause for the employer company that gives them easy out if certain goals or revenue targets are not reached. I would assume something similar happens with Sweet Baby, unless these studios have really stupid lawyers. Cheer 100.
Andrea, I wouldn't put it past them to have really stupid lawyers, and B, I wouldn't put past Sweet Baby Inc. to try and eliminate said easy out clause when they get involved with these studios. Granted, I have no idea, I am speculating, but I suspect it may be something along those lines. So, basically, homely. Exactly. And what happened? Black Myth Wukong fucking killed it. So, what we're seeing is we're basically seeing a blatant indicator. If there isn't a story about a studio that tells Sweet Baby Inc. to kindly go fuck themselves, that's a studio to keep an eye on for a good game. If you hear crickets and your Sweet Baby Inc. is involved, that's going to be a good indicator for a game to avoid, because not only is the game going to suck, chances are that studio is going to go under once the game launches.
Still happens. But let's look at the statement from Reflector and Bandai Namco about this whole failure of Unknown 9 Awakening. So here's the official post from their CEO posted on LinkedIn saying this.
That's it.
Today, I informed our teams that I made the decision to not greenlight further work on a future project that was in conceptualization phase and thus terminating this development line. Continuing this project would not have been sustainable for the future of the studio. Regrettably, this also means that there will be redundancies following this decision. This decision correlates directly with the failure of the studio's ambitious and courageous first project, a new IP with a rich transmedia universe. The performance of the release didn't come near the company expectations after numerous timeline adjustments and investments, both financially and other, and didn't warrant any further exploration in this universe. Unfortunately, this also affects back office staff, bringing these support teams in line with the single project approach the studio will adopt for the immediate future, where possible staff will be assigned to this project based on an existing Bandai Namco IP, which is shaping up very well. Reflector Entertainment
game company is too big to be replaced by a new company making games better.
No, exactly, Duran. And I've said, this is, potentially speaking, this could be the age of the indie game studios and game devs. Indie studios and devs have an opportunity here to basically be the cream that rises to the top. You have these major Once AAA studios thoroughly left, right, and center because of this shit. There is an opportunity here for the smaller developers and the smaller studios and the smaller companies to make a move. Whether or not they're going to fuck that up, I don't know. But this is an opportunity for them if they can make a move on it. And I hope they do. Because this industry needs new blood. This industry needs new and fresh blood to inject new life into it. Because it has gotten stale.
Just look at Still Wakes the Deep. Sure, very linear, but suburb story and voice acting. Cheer 300.
Oh, excuse me. I don't think I've heard of Still Wakes the Deep. They're about to thaw Todd Howard out to announce the latest re-release of Skyrim. Probably, Alex. Yeah, that's what players are begging for. Give us a good fucking story. Take out the DEI shit. If you want to have a strong female lead, fine. But make the character interesting and make the story good. If you want to have homosexual relationships in the story, nobody fucking cares as long as the story is good and it makes sense for it to be in the game. If you want to have a transgender character in the story, nobody fucking cares as long as the character is written well and it makes sense for the story. This is basic shit. Unlike what the reading idiots say, people are not opposed to, colloquially speaking, DEI stuff, i.e. girl power, LGBT, etc., etc. They're not opposed to it. They just want a good story and for those facets to make fucking sense for the game. And honestly, Big Dog, I'm actually gonna do a correction on that. Having a butt ugly character in the game is not a deal breaker in and of itself. You can actually have a butt ugly character in the game as long as, again, the character's written well and the story is good. The reason why people are so like I get so upset with the butt ugly characters in the games is for one very specific reason. Is that some people they watch the trailer or something and people go, "Oh god, that character's ugly." And the studios and the voice talent behind it turn the guns on them and go, "You hate women, you're a misogynist, blah blah blah," and they go fucking apeshit because someone goes, the character looks ugly. There's a difference between that and like, okay, the character's ugly, but the story and the character themselves are written very fucking well. You can have a butt ugly character in a game. You can even have a character that is the main character and is butt ugly. If the story written around them or the character themselves is written well, it can be forgiven. Yeah, so I mean, as an individual, some people don't want mannish women. That's fine. Like some people, it's a turn off for them. Like I don't like playing games where the character I'm playing is a mannish or butt ugly woman. That's fine. That's your personal choice. There's actually nothing wrong thinking that way. That is your personal choice. That's your taste. But it's not a blanket thing. That's what I'm saying. This is not like a blanket thing where just because a character is butt ugly means that the game is going to take. When you pair that with a dogshit story, dogshit characters, and a studio that is targeting and attacking its customer base before the game is even launched, there's the problem.
The Marvel Wolverine game from Insomnia Games has Sweet Baby working on it.
I know.
This does not bode well for its end result. Cheer
Oh, I know.
100.
We saw a Red video some time ago, Andrea, where they showed Jean Grey. And oh, sweet God, did they uglify the ever-living shit out of Jean Grey in Insomnia's Wolverine game. They made her so fucking ugly. And now, going back to the other point, okay, she's ugly. Yes, this is Jean fucking Grey. Jean Grey has been and always will be a gorgeous fucking redhead from the X-Men. It's a little different when you uglify a well-established character. Yeah, Jean Grey is a decades-old, well-established character, and in every iteration, she is a hot redhead. And Insomnia's uglifying her. Because their I don't know what fucking graphics engine they're using, but the graphics basically look like shit. That's what it is. The graphics for that, the graphics for Insomnia's Wolverine game do look like shit. Now, it's possible what we saw may have been early access, but it did not look good.
Adequate severance packages, extended health benefits for affected staff and their families, continued access to emotional, mental health, and counseling services, and finally,
Also true,
proactive
Big Dog.
career
Also
planning
true.
support to set them up for future success.
Yeah. Sorry, Rev. Yeah, Big Dog, you're right. Well, okay. I thought with the Mary Jane thing, I thought it depended on the scene. In some scenes, she actually looked okay, and in some scenes, she looked ugly as shit. Unless I'm thinking of she looked good in the first Spider-Man, and then the Spider-Man 2, they uglified her. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But to your point, yeah. Insomnia did Spider-Man. It's just... Yes. Yeah, and that's what I thought out. So I thought that in some of the scenes she was thought of as not looking bad, but there were some scenes she did look bad. It was, yeah, okay, so she looked fine in Spider-Man 1, but in Spider-Man 2, they fucked her all up. Okay, that's kind of what I figured it was. Yeah, and it is Insomnia, so obvious worry is obvious.
Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe will continue investing on creating Western content for global audiences in line with the group's vision. So yes, quite literally, this company has imploded. The franchise is dead. Unknown 9, the franchise connected to it, it's completely done. They've shut it down.
It's dead, Jim.
The first installment of the franchise, Unknown 9 Awakening, was such an epic failure. They just said, we're cutting our losses. We're done. And even having to provide all these services and protections for employees who clearly are going to be laid off as a result of this disaster. Now, going back to the Fandom Pulse article here, they also mentioned there was a now deleted blog post where Reflector Entertainment general manager Marc-Andre Seguin announced the company was reducing their staff by approximately 18% of Reflector's total workforce, saying this. As for
That's a fucking lie. Do you remember when some of these bigger studios said that they were reducing their workforce by like 3 to 5% and how huge of news that was? This is 18%. That ain't good. If they're having to reduce the workforce by 18%, that's a pretty good indicator the studio is on its way to closure. That's what this is signaling that I would not be at all surprised to hear in the near future that the entire studio has been shut down.
For why the layoffs were happening, he stated today's announcement isn't driven by commercial success or external pressures, but stems instead from our current reality, which is that, at this time, we cannot guarantee tangible work for all of the talented individuals we employ. And he
fucking wise. The announcement was completely driven by success, by commercial success. You are a business. Everything you do is driven by commercial success. Quit fucking around and acting like people don't know how shit works. You are a business. Everything you do is focused on how much money you can make. So yes, This was all about commercial success. So the lie detector test determined that was a fucking lie.
Added, with the recent release of Unknown 9 Awakening and our two key production lines entering the early stages of development, we must make sure that our staff is laser focused on contributing to the projects that wholly benefit from their
Yeah, I'm
skill
thinking
sets.
half a year
So
too,
yeah, there's
Silver.
also a round of layoffs in a deleted post, which is kind of strange, but they are losing approximately 18% of their workforce. And again, none of this is really surprising when a game like that crashes and burns.
And can I just say, this is more of that toxic positivity bullshit. By him doing in this deleted blog post saying the announcement isn't driven by commercial success or external pressures, that's this guy's version of you don't worry, Queen, slay Queen, you're wonderful. It's just, we have to look at the reality. But you're wonderful. You did great. The game is wonderful. Instead of saying, you guys fucked up. The game is dog shit. Because the game is dog shit, you're fired. This is more of that toxic positivity shit that is, again, killing games in studios.
Cheer 100 Achu. Sorry, I am allergic to bullshit.
Bless you, dragon. Would you like a tissue?
Burns so hard. A game that clearly had a lot of money invested in, millions and millions of dollars, and yet it comes out and peaks around
it's
200
toxic positivity and it's
players.
Atanashi.
It's just not acceptable, and obviously they're going to have layoffs and cut back as a result of this. But really, there's multiple factors, but again, you have another sweet baby project resulting in mass layoffs, a game flopping, and possibly a studio facing the end, because this looks really, really bad. And obviously Bandai Namco is licking their wounds and trying to recover from this horrible, horrible acquisition of Reflector that has not panned out,
it's
even
gonna,
in the
shut
smallest sense that they had intended when they made the purchase. But speaking of Bandai Namco, we recently quickly covered this, but they're previewing a new game, and people point out that in this game, they have a Type B and Type A type character that used to be your standard male and female, and it appears that everything going on at Reflector...
Oh my god. Okay, Rev's hair is kind of hiding it. Apparently this used to be on... From what this looks like, it used to be on the PS Vita. Because this says Vita, so maybe this game used to be on the Vita, which had female voice and male voice, and now it's Type A and B. Oh, fuck. So they're still drinking the Kool-Aid.
Also reflects, no pun intended, on Bandai Namco and the woke nonsense. They're supporting, or in many ways, I believe, being tricked into believing that people prefer. But in reality...
Well, there's a slider, Wolfie. This is the very top, and there you can see there's a slider, so you can choose more. So I'm guessing there's 4. I'm guessing there's 4 of each.
Nobody prefers this Type B,
Type
A
research
nonsense.
It.
Don't hire the Grim Reaper for work. Its toxic positivity can kill people.
Namco and the woke nonsense. They're supporting, or in many ways, I believe, being tricked into believing that people prefer. But in reality, nobody prefers this Type B, Type A nonsense. They just want female and male. Like, it's so basic. And if you want proof of that, I'll show this poll anytime it's relevant, because I think it speaks volumes. The CEO of CI Games, the creators of Lords of the Fallen, made this poll as a result of seeing complaints about having the Type A and Type B body types in their game. So they said, I'll open up to you guys, we'll make a poll, and whatever wins, we'll go with that. And as you can see, after 50,000 votes, nearly 89% of people chose a male or female body type over the typical Type A, Type B. People
way, like, you're seeing, like, comments. I'm not sure if Rev said this or not, but you're seeing comments, people like, very cool of you to do this, blah, blah, blah. Let's not fuck with it. This is not this guy in this studio being altruistic. This was this guy in this studio testing the waters to see what would happen if we did change it from male to female to body type A and B. This was them. They want to do body type A, body type B instead of male, female. This was them doing a subtle test of the waters to go, what would happen if we did this? Yeah, essentially, yeah. They basically use Twitter as sort of like a control group. Not a control group, like a test audience. They use Twitter like a test audience. And this is obviously telling him and his studio, don't do A and B. It's overwhelmingly male or female. What this means is they were thinking about doing this. About the A and B. And so if they were thinking about doing type A, body type B instead of male or female, what else are they thinking about doing in their day that is in this vein? Because if they're testing the waters on this, what else do they have cooking? That should be granted, I think cynically, but that's my cynical brain looking at this. There's a whole lot more of this DEI bullshit cooking in the background than this.
People are tired of this, and now more than ever, it should be very clear to these studios that this is the way the wind is blowing, and they need to basically get on board, or they'll end up failing like Unknown 9 Awakening or any other Sweet Baby related project. People are done with this virtue signaling and all this slop that comes with it. However, some journalists are not happy about this change of direction that's happening in the industry. You can see Rock, Paper, Shotgun, who I cannot believe is still in existence and still functioning as a website. Who clicks on this other than to...
Wait. They seriously have PC gaming since 1873? Is that some kind of a meme for Rock, Paper, Shotgun? Like, obviously it's like a joke or a meme or something, but does anybody know what the meme is with 1873? Because okay. Is 1873 when the game Rock, Paper, Scissors first came into existence? Is that like the first recorded thing of Rock, Paper, Scissors? Because this is a take on Rock, Paper, Scissors. I'm wondering if it's just like a meme play off of when that original game. I don't know. I was just curious.
To make fun of them. They made this article saying, video game publishers are starting to use anti-DEI as a marketing meme. I'm not exactly sure what a marketing meme is, but these companies are very serious about trying to convince people they are anti-woke, or at the very least, they don't support DEI. And that is a smart financial decision for them. That's not grifting or a marketing meme. It's just a good set of PR.
Translation: Rock, Paper, Shotgun, i.e. Edwin Evans Thurwell, is the one that's calling it a meme. The author of this article, this editor, is the one that's calling it a meme. Video game publishers are basically just making a smart business decision and saying that we are anti-DEI, i.e. we're making our games to be fun and for you to enjoy. And I forgot I'm not maximized here. That's what this is. So it's the journalist that's calling it a marketing meme. i.e., this journalist doesn't know what the fuck a meme is, or this journalist is gaslighted. Take your pick. Either one is an acceptable answer.
It's reading the room and understanding how people feel about this stuff and trying to expand the potential of your game. Because a lot of companies just don't see this and they continue to act like fools and implement DEI and all these things, and it's costing them. And it's good to see people actually.
What do you mean I'm the one misunderstanding the word? How am I misunderstanding the word? Advertising that their games are anti-DEI or that their companies are anti-DEI is not a meme. I never said it was a joke.
Cheer 170. I know it's off topic, but can I convince you to look at a trailer for Still Wakes the Deep between videos?
Not
Cheer
today,
400.
Not today. Yeah, Zeb, I never said that meme was a joke. I'm now confused. Yeah, I never implied that. No. Oh, you were okay, so you're misunderstanding. No, I wasn't saying that meme is a joke. No. Not at all. What I'm saying is that this this editor does not know. Huh? No. What do you mean? No, I absolutely think it's okay. Are you referring to the anti-DEI part? That it's serious? Because I do think that video game publishers are being serious when they're marketing their games and their products as being anti-DEI. I do think that they're legitimately doing that as perhaps even a marketing tool. I think that this editor either they don't know what a meme is or they're just gaslighting. I don't think I actually said it was not serious in any way. I think he's why is he using the word mean? I think that the journalist is using marketing meme, using this phrasing as a headline, either because the journalist doesn't know what a meme is, or the journalist is trying to gaslight and make it sound like the video game publishers that are actively saying they are anti-woke or anti-DEI are doing some kind of marketing ploy. That's what I think that this author is trying to do. I don't think that it's using the I don't know. It's sad. I don't think this is done as satire. That's the thing. I don't think this is being done as satire. Look, for me, a meme is I look at meme as the visual medium of the visual memes, like shit that we see on stream. It's a big fucking rabbit hole. This is okay. The point I'm making is publishers indicating that they are not that they are anti publishers indicating that they are anti-DEI is not a meme. That's either marketing or it's okay. We're not going down this rabbit hole. I'm not going down this rabbit hole on this. The bottom line is this journalist is using this word to elicit an emotional response. And it's being done either for the purpose of that he doesn't actually understand it, or he's trying to gaslight the readers into thinking that these game publishers are evil people. That's the point.
Actually acknowledging what gamers want, rejecting DEI, and personally, I don't really care if they actually believe this deep down. Like with Lords of the Fallen and CI games, do I actually believe that they hate DEI and this is something they genuinely believe at their heart is a bad thing? I don't know. But at least they're responding to people. The results are there. We're flushing this garbage out of the industry because finally some of these developers are listening to what people are saying, and they're doing this because they're seeing the failures of other DEI-infested games. Unknown 9 Awakening is an example of that. They're seeing the failure, and they're going, well, that's all I need to see. We are not going to cater to this DEI nonsense. And yeah, if you go down the article here too,
there we go.
they talk about these right-wing talking heads.
There we
and
go.
They say this: the concept of DEI today doesn't, however, just cover what happens at work. Within many reactionary online circles, DEI has evolved, like woke, into...
And reading above that he skipped over, diversity, equity, and inclusion practices are embraced by many organizations and can take many forms. Discrimination is, after all, pretty diverse. Helping white managers understand how racism informs reactions to it, etc., etc. So he is using the expression anti-DEI meme as an insult. He's deliberately using this as a means to insult the game development studios that are expressing we are anti-DEI. So he is absolutely using it as, it feels like he's using it as a gaslight. Thank you, Hero Brian. Thank you so much, and hi. Well, here's the problem. Unless we see an example of what this author is saying is a marketing meme, unless this author presents an example of a marketing meme, it's still a bit nebulous what it could possibly be. That's the key there. And Emperor of the World, thank you for the follow.
...to a catch-all signifier for a caboodle of left-wing or progressive positions across society and culture, from recent trans rights advocacy to
because
older
you can't be
feminist
racist to white people.
About positive
Mad.
representation in art. There's a lively community of
so
right-wing journalists, streamers, and assorted grifters. Of course, it's always the grifters who bond over and profit from the exercise of combing video games for signs of DEI infestation. For instance, a cybernetic bondage outfit in Stellar Blade being patched to include a modest undershirt, or the discovery that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, often framed as a nostalgic fantasy about an all-white 15th century Bohemia, includes at least one person of color with a Quranic name. Yes, they are absolutely seething. Yes, people called out, especially the Stellar Blade example, that was an act of censorship and also a rug pull where people were falsely led into believing the game was not going to be censored, and it was censored after an initial patch right after the game was launched. That wasn't fair, and I'm glad people called that out. That's not grifting. That's not attacking anyone unfairly. That is a fair criticism to raise. And it's funny how calling out censorship and calling out lies in the gaming industry is...
But, by the way, I'm going to point this out. Now, I know nothing about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So if you guys know what character is being referenced here, please let me know. But notice it says, often framed as the nostalgic fantasy about an all-white 15th century Bohemia, when they refer to a non-white person, they don't refer to the ethnicity. They just say a person of color with a Quranic name, which sounds to me like the character in question is someone of perhaps Middle Eastern descent. So why is this author so scared to say that includes at least one Middle Eastern person? Why do they have to words on it, a person of color with a Quranic name? That's a Middle Eastern person. That's someone who is Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern or Moorish, yes, Dwayne? Yeah, so why not say that? You have no problem saying white. No problem. But when it's someone that's not white, you have to say a person of color with blankety blank ethnic name. Perhaps that? I mean, that's why I said, if anybody knows what character is being referenced, tell me, because I don't know. But by the description, they're describing someone that's either Middle Eastern or perhaps Moorish. Why not say that if that's who it is? Why not actually say the ethnicity? And yes, Shemsborough, that's why. You're exactly right. That's why up here, as you guys were talking about, how they talk about helping white managers understand how racism informs reactions, instead of just saying helping managers and removing race from the equation altogether. Yeah, it's basically with every games journalist, it's be as racist as you want to white people, be nice to everybody else that's not white. Basically, white people are turning into basically with games journalists, we're doing a reversal of the 1930s and 1940s. We're we're doing a reversal now, where it's basically white people are the marginalized ethnicity. Yeah, and it needs to get called out. It needs to get called out. If you want to say that racism is bad, beautiful. I'm behind you. You need to include white people in that. You cannot say white people are one race and everyone else is the non-racist. Can't do it. It doesn't fucking work. By the dictionary definition, it does not fucking work, and I'm gonna call it out every fucking time.
Is now somehow a right-wing concept. Wow, what a weird thing to say. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. A lot of things going on in the gaming industry. The drama never seems to end, and Unknown 9 Awakening just imploded Reflector, and I guess they have no one to blame but themselves. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Good night. Well, that was something.